man.
All right, we got him.
We like to apologize.
For what?
To absolutely no one.
The two-time champ does absolutely fucking nothing.
We're recording. Oh, we are. Main Chafford podcast episode 287.
Yes,
the real is back. I am him, Himmy Neutron, Himothy, Dancing, DK, watch it back. I tell you every week, do your Googles. But I gotta do it. I'm gonna pass it to my partner. Let's do it.
Carl Sanusi, Don Corleone in the building, the one and only, aka L. Coolins, aka C-Note, aka Hollywood Cole, aka Dog Dad.
Yes,
Left ear, right ear, surround sound, smart speakers, portable speakers, you name it. We are there. Episode 286. I don't know at this point.
Solid guess.
Yeah, let's be getting it. Yeah, it is 286. Fair enough.
Ah, damn. I was overzealous.
Eman G45, the G solid my name, the 45 is silence, Genghis Jibogwe, Prince of the East, Tinfoil Hat Eames.
Come on.
R&B voice is very much present. Black Mamba Dove. Cheaty
Yeah.
My God is better than your God. There is no debate. He is one. Now I'm saying Big Three, shout out to them.
Big Three.
Yeah, let's get straight into it.
Let's.
The NBA. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, man.
Fascinating stuff is happening at the moment.
It's been exciting.
It has been, it has been. OKC looked like they were going to blow the Timberwolves out of the water, but wasn't the case. Anthony Edwards said, I have other ideas. Shea didn't even play good, which is shocking.
Just to keep it, just to surmise what's happened so far, Timberwolves in the West have managed to take out the Los Angeles Lakers, and they've managed to take out the Golden State Warriors, which have two of probably the greatest players within the league right now, which is LeBron James, even Luka Doncic as well.
I've got a question for you, man.
You have Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors. So at this current moment, and then also with the New York Knicks, I'll come to your question in a second. With the New York Knicks, they've broken the 25-year streak of not making it to the conference finals.
That's crazy.
So this is really exciting times, and the four teams, which is OKC, with SGA, the Pacers, Timberwolves, and New York Knicks. These are all four young teams that are now most likely going to become the face of the league, which is really, really, it's tough. So this is really exciting times. What's your question, Demi?
Yeah, my question was going to be, because you mentioned LeBron and Steph Curry. Does Steph have a better legacy than LeBron?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, it's comparable, but to say it's outright, I mean,
they both have 4 rings.
I wouldn't say it. Go on, sorry.
They both have. I don't know. I just feel like when it comes down to it, I always look at LeBron like Ronaldo in the sense of when it comes to the fundamentals of the game, he's down pat. Do you know what I mean? Like everything you'd want a basketball player to be able to do, he can do. But that doesn't necessarily make for the most memorable player. Whereas I can reel off the amount of amazing moments that I feel like Steph Curry's given just through his playing style alone. He's obviously, his impact on the game, I might argue, is bigger due to the really reinventing how people view the three-pointer, being an incredible shooter, part of a dynasty in the Golden State Warriors. I don't know. I saw a discussion about it recently. I was like, there's definitely a conversation to be had.
I mean, I would say they're peers, but I think LeBron James is just iconic, really, and he dominated through more eras. So I just feel
Mm,
like it's harder to. I see what you're trying to say with the Ronaldo thing, but I think maybe LeBron needs a bit more credit because he's just an animal, man.
mm,
Man can do everything. Um, Obviously Steph is like the best three-point shooter that's ever lived.
yeah, yeah,
I think LeBron's all-round game and there's the story behind it, him defeating that super team
yeah. The
and
3-1
back
was
to his
crazy.
original Cleveland and okay, the LA bubble one was a bit of a stat pad, but I think the legacy with the Miami Heat, I still feel like that was a legendary team and a legendary time in his career, early in his career.
Mm,
So I think
yeah,
there's enough to still have them separated, in my opinion. But I see what you mean about Steph being more influential on the game for sure. Yeah, yeah, everyone's banging threes now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he's been cooking it. So it's definitely a conversation. I wouldn't rub it out. But if you were to ask
Yeah.
me, I'd probably put. I mean, they're both like generational, but I'd put LeBron over Steph personally.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Um,
Was
okay. I would say with LeBron's been he's never averaged under 20 points from the beginning. Uh, when we look at the collective from when he started, I mean, in terms of um his the whole season, I've just looked at the stats right now. He's never averaged below 20. So
that's
he's been in the
crazy.
game for almost almost 22 years. I think
Jesus.
this I think this nah, is it 20 years? 22, yeah, almost 22 years, yeah. And he's never gone under 20 points and he's been very consistent. In Cleveland, he almost took him to the finals by himself, and then of course he went to the Heats, did what he did with the Heat, amazing
Mm,
stuff. He came back to Cleveland, did what he did with Cleveland. Now he's in the Lakers. The bubble, this was an interesting take as well. The bubble, people dismiss the bubble, but with with being a basketball player in the NBA comes a lifestyle. Now the lifestyle's not for everybody, but there is a lifestyle, meaning that you have to go outside, you have to be outside. There is there's gonna be several distractions. Whereas
mm,
the bubble was where you were set to only do one thing, and that's play ball. You play ball, you go back to your hotel. That's it. Like
yeah.
you're only there to play ball. So quite literally, the bubble could have possibly been the best basketball you probably ever seen in your whole entire life. In terms
Mm,
of, and more importantly, it was just fundamental in terms of just playing basketball, no distractions. The only distraction you probably had was if players are just gambling, but like we're talking about gambling like small stuff like just playing around. However, majority of the people that were in the bubble had to be in the bubble and they played in the bubble. Um,
mm,
so that's more so on LeBron James and how he's consistently been there since um, since the start of his career up until now. With
mm.
Steph Curry, they curated the team and it worked. And it's not to throw him under the bus with everything that he has because he's a phenomenal player in terms of
Mm.
what he does. In terms of yes, the threes, um, but on top of that, his movement on the court is superior. And then also having somebody like Draymond Green, like you have to understand, all of these NBA players, they can really ball. Every single person, put them in like a different position or whatever the case is, they
Yeah,
can all
yeah,
ball. But they have to play like position roles and like um when we look at Draymond Green, like what he does for Steph and the way he plays, like like everything he does, superb. So in terms of the comparison, I'd probably say that LeBron James is far better because I think he's been in a position where he's played different places on the court, whereas Steph has only been suited for one specific role.
Yeah, I get that.
And when we see like a super team like the Team USA, you can see there's a complete difference. Um, so when there is a comparison, especially because Steph, I think he has like 16, if not 15 years, whereas LeBron has 22 years.
Mm.
Comparing the both um, is comparing apples to oranges. Both are
Damn,
great.
we said.
They both have their net positive and net negative, but at the end of the day, they're both great.
Mm.
But LeBron James,
LeBron
LeBron James
James.
for sure. Yeah.
Alright.
But it was sad because the thing is he had Luca on this team and he didn't fulfill the criteria this year. So
I don't know. When does he retire? That's the real question. He's got to sit down at some point. I know Savannah's waiting.
um I think he wants to, yeah, that was another thing as well. If he went to the championships this year, like
Mm.
he would have went with his son. So like that would have been like the ultimate legacy story and rare. But
I can't see it happening for him now. The two that
yeah.
he needed to get to make the conversation interesting, I just don't see where he's going to get them from. Not the Lakers, unless they help him out. Like I don't know, Giannis could potentially be a free agent. But I don't know if he goes there.
Nah, he shouldn't. He shouldn't. They have a great team as is already.
Who the Lakers?
Um, yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
don't know. I'm a beg to. Oh, I don't. Not a bad team. Not a bad team. I think they went out when they were supposed to.
No, because I mean, Luca has his own like system, his own
Mm.
set, and then now he's been put into the Lakers where they have their own systems and they have to work together. And the thing is, yes, Luca has his skill set and has his toolbox ready, but
Mm.
everybody saw the weakness, you know, and
Yeah.
and evidently that didn't get them to beat Timberwolves
No.
to be in the position that they should have been. But I see LeBron with Stormzy, and that's all I know right now. So
Use me.
yeah,
I'll
he
be
took he
saying
took a picture. He
Stormzy.
took a picture with Stormzy, man. He took a picture with Stormzy. I don't know where they were at, but they were just enjoying life.
I'd pay
And
good
right
price to
now,
hear that conversation.
That's funny.
but you
I
know what's
always hear
mad?
stuff about Stormzy. This is like when I found out he was dating Victoria Monet.
He's him,
I
man.
know I know Stormzy is like mad tall, but brother, LeBron James just be there like, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying? Like mad tall,
That's
but
crazy. Stormzy
yeah,
OBJ,
man,
nuts. What a time to be
yeah, man.
alive.
Shout out to them for sure.
But nah, incredible series so far. We even really touched on it. I'm thoroughly impressed with Anthony Edwards. What a player! Just I can't even explain it. It's just raw energy. He's
Yeah,
just yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He
Bringing it to
doesn't.
the game.
Yeah, wants to win at any cost. I really enjoy it. I think him really OKC is a really good matchup. Shea, I don't know is how to Gordon, whatever his name. What's his full name? I know it's really random. Him,
SGA, just say SGA, bro.
SGA.
There you
He
go.
he reminds me of Ruud van Nistelrooy. All he cares about is scoring. Don't give a heck. Man, just in the perimeter. I don't even know if Shea can take threes. I'll be real. Um, that guy is the king of stat padding, but I'm enjoying it. And what's going on between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers? Obviously, Halliburton was able to get off the choke emote. I'm going crazy.
Yep,
Did you see
yep.
how that free landed though? That didn't look real.
Yeah, yeah.
That looked
I,
like Judge.
that was
It's a
not real.
play-by-play of what happened with many years ago with my man Reggie Miller. So
Yeah.
that's what I was most impressed by.
The fact that they blew that lead is a disgrace though.
Yeah,
Can't
no.
lie. My man
But then
slapped
they
five
they
threes, bro.
won. It's 2-1 in that series now.
Yeah, it's
But
2-1 in both
Yeah.
series. So it's 2-1 to OKC versus Timberwolves, and it's 2-1 to Pacers versus Knicks.
I know.
they make them play an ungodly amount of games. 82 in the regular season, and then how many games could you play if you make it to the final? Oh, I dread to think.
You could play 4 games.
Yeah, but then you
Three
could play more. At least one of the
is
series is going to a game
four
seven.
to seven. That's it. It's 4 to 7.
That's a lot of games, man. This is a high intense sport. This ain't
Yeah,
golf.
yeah.
I say, yeah. Nah, come on, man. This is why like NBA players must be the creme de la creme in terms of like athleticism.
Yes,
I'm not
yes,
even trying to glaze, but that's just impressive.
yes. Because yeah, when it comes to it, really and truly. Oh yeah, and this was something that Kevin Garnett mentioned as well. Was like you're playing mad games, like super, super games, and then on top of that, you're traveling on the
I'm not even
plane.
thinking
So
about
like,
that. Yeah, and the States is mad because they'll have different time zones. So
yeah, I mean, there's
Thursday,
the time zones, but then on top of that, there's the swelling. Like, when you get on a plane and then like you're like if you don't have compression socks or compression gear,
mm,
bro,
yeah,
you're swollen. Pause. So like, imagine that happening like consistently, where you're just doing this on a consistent basis, where your body is just is done.
nah,
So uh, so doing the planes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it's a lot, man. It takes
not
it
for
takes a
sure.
lot of a person.
It takes its
Um,
toll.
for sure, for sure. But as you said, yes, the athleticism is it's a lot. But then when you look at American football, if you collectively get all of them together, American football is a bit different because you have people who are Demi's height, then you have people who are my height, then you have people
Mm,
who are like um who are basically Stormzy's height, 6'4", 6'5". Yeah.
mm.
Like you have different heights, different weights, people who are extremely large and people who are extremely thin who can actually go all the way, who are very athletic. I think probably when it comes to athleticism, I think probably the top two is probably rugby and
Huh?
basketball. Rugby and basketball. Because rugby, every
Nah,
single player
it's football
is
and it's
built.
football and it's football and
Nah,
basketball. Nah, it's
nah,
definitely
it's
football and
rugby.
basketball.
It's rugby, bro.
Well, explain your rugby.
Rugby,
Uh,
your bolo, your hench, and you're sprinting
okay, I
half of
see
the
what you're
time.
saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Okay,
then on
I'm with
top of
you.
that, with NBA, you're running. It's marathon sprinting, and then you're
Yeah, yeah.
also physically
Basketball is just a
aggressive.
bleep test.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying with rugby, but I don't know. I feel like that game's a bit more static as well, just from what I know. It's it's passing backwards. So I think that gives you a breather. I always respect sports where you do get knocked. Like that's impressive to me.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. I'm gonna have to give it to football. I still think football's above it, and that's not me being biased because that's probably my number one sport. But I just feel the athleticism to do that. That in of itself is a bit of a bleak test. The high level of IQ you need to be able to play that game. I don't know. I don't know. Someone
But
who
you see
plays
about
rugby might
football,
say something different. Huh?
but the thing about football is that more time, you could be on the field and you could just be just chilling.
True, true. If you look at the way Messi plays,
Because if you look
but
at 90 minutes, you could be chilling for a good 20 minutes. You could be chilling for actually no, 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 hold on, hold on. Let me say that again.
nah,
You
maybe
could be
you know what?
chilling for a good 30 minutes.
Huh? Nah, I
Yeah,
don't
you could be
know,
if you're playing 90 minutes, you could be chilling for a good 30 minutes,
If you're
bro.
playing for Man
bro.
City and you're defending at like Apex Man City, you're not doing anything. You're in the defense, you're just chilling, bro. Haaland
What they're getting
and
busy.
and KDB mashing work, and you're just
I
chilling.
used to hate that. Do you know when Haaland would score two in the first half and then he'd hook him off for the second? Fucking twat.
I think what's an underrated sport, I'd say, is tennis, because if
Ooh,
they go the 5 set,
Yes.
You're playing for 4 hours.
I'll never forget that final. Djokovic versus Alcaraz, 5 hours. I remember I said,
That's
"Hey, yo,
cool.
I'm gonna dip. I need to go do something back at home." I came back and they were still going. I said, "Bro, what even is
Yeah.
this?
I
Knock
rate
it
tennis
off."
players, man. That is a hard graft. I don't know how they do it.
And it's just
It's
you.
tough.
It's just
It's
you
tough.
Yeah, you can't
against that
have
other person. Nah, fuck that for real. I don't
It's
know.
tough. Yeah. But those I would say those two sports, rugby and basketball. Because rugby,
Um,
you have to be very, very physical, but you're going against other big men as well. So it's a case where you have to really showcase strength. Whereas basketball, you are doing a marathon and also going against other big men too. Because bearing in
mm,
mind, these men are like 100 plus kilos. Like, yeah,
yeah.
100 kilos around that
You
part.
what
So
you? Oh yeah, true, true. I was gonna say
yeah,
our
because
basketball
yeah,
players that weight, but quite possibly because you got to think about their height as well.
yeah, their height, the whole lot. But yeah,
Mm. But what I was gonna say, second, well, so I guess all the best to all
if
four
Knicks
teams.
win, yeah, if
Yeah,
Knicks
yeah,
win, Diddy's
yeah.
coming out. Diddy's coming out.
He's gonna need more
If
than that.
Diddy,
if Knicks win, I don't even think Batman can save that city.
nah,
If
Diddy's
Knicks
gonna
lose,
come out, bro. Diddy's gonna come out in the Batman shit, and he's
they're
just
gonna
gonna be like,
they're gonna put X videos on Times Square.
"Whoa."
That's crazy.
I promise.
That's crazy.
Watch.
Sorry.
Um,
Anyways.
no, all the best to all four teams. Like, whoever wins, I think it's also all the franchises. Whoever wins, that will be their first ever chip. So it's very exciting.
It's been one of those years in sport, man.
Yeah, it has
Like
actually.
Spurs winning their trophy, Newcastle. Who else? There was somebody else. Crystal Palace.
Yes,
Um, yeah, man. Just the year
first
that
trophy in their history. It's the year the underdog.
exciting times.
Yeah, very, very. Well, I guess that goes quite nicely into what is an exciting thing. Thunderbolts. Finally. Feige loosened that hat and they did a good job. This is the first MCU film that I feel like I watched in a while that like, oh yes, the previous stuff that I've watched has actually come to fruition. Or like things from previous movies has finally paid off. Do you know what I mean? Um yeah, I really enjoyed that film. I was very impressed.
Man, you don't look impressed.
It's not. I don't look like I'm not impressed. It's just I feel personally like
There
we've
weren't
seen the
enough things.
storyline already. We've seen the storyline already, and
Mm,
Where?
in the aspect that look at Guardians 1 and how that kind of played out. The
mm,
only difference is that rather than complete destroying the villain, they rescue the villain.
okay.
But
I see that.
all four like all characters, well, except for Bucky Barnes, all the characters are rogue, have are working. They're not working for the right side of history, as you would say. They're not working for the right side of history, so on and so forth. And they all find a way just basically to team up, and they all have to go and basically defeat someone. Then they run into a problem, so on and so forth. Boom. To be fair, it's probably even the same similar. It's a similar storyline as Guardians 1 and Guardians 3.
I hear what you're saying, but I think there's enough of a difference. I feel there's enough differentiation. That's not a word, but you know what I'm trying to say between
Mm.
Guardians One and Thunderbolts, or even Guardians Three. I just feel the story that they want to tell in terms of the way I saw it was a really good look at depression and what it can do to someone, and fighting your demons or the stuff you're going through so that you can be a better version of yourself going forward. I really like that. Everything that happens in New York City with the Void, I thought that was very clever and well handled. And the story as to how we even got to that point was really good as well. I was impressed with Sentry when they showed him. Yelena is a character that I feel like goes from strength to strength. There's just a lot of good here that's nice to see. Maybe there is comparisons, but I just feel like there's enough of a difference for you to not feel that way. And I'm just pleased to see Marvel start to pay things off. You know, Yelena's storyline feels like it comes to an end, or at least to a satisfying conclusion. Red Guardian, I really liked his introduction. People like John Walker, US agent, who was on Falcon and Winter Soldier, like things are
Yeah,
starting to pay off. Us being diligent and having watched a lot of Marvel projects now feels like again like it used to back in the day, where it's like, oh, that's mentioned from that film and that's now impacting this and this, you know, in a clever way. It's nice. It just felt like a return to form.
yeah. Um, I would have. What's the person that died? Is it Taskmaster?
Oh yeah, they got up
Taskmaster.
out of here.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that character at least still be in
Yeah,
the team.
I feel
But
like I like the skill set that she has or her ability, but
mm,
I'm not pressed that she was gone. It would have been nice to see more of the character, but I'm sure they had their reasons.
yeah. Um, so there's that, and then on top of that, I think the Sentry. I don't know. I personally don't know because the Sentry versus what's it the OP scroll
Oh,
the
what?
scroll.
Hongo?
Yeah. So now it's a case of
Oh,
like,
you know how I
okay,
feel about that already, off rip.
so who's more overpowered? And then of course we have Captain Marvel. Yes, she's a powerful being, but it's just like
I don't know. That is a good question. Who's the most powerful being in the MCU now?
because
I don't want to
according
say.
to comic books, this person is supposed to be the most overpowered out of everybody.
Mm,
And I love the way they displayed it because it was just like
yeah.
he was
Not
almost like a mix of Vision and Wanda, like the way he just controlled
Yeah,
stuff
that's
and
a very
moved
good
stuff
comparison.
around. I just thought it was brilliant. But and then when they tried to stab him, didn't work. Bending the vibranium, you know,
man turning into
throwing
like
Red Guardian out of
Thunderball.
the window, then bringing him back.
Yeah, that was cold. That was cold. You don't die unless I say you do. That yeah, I read that. So this
Yeah,
essentially was him. I enjoyed Bob and his mental health issues. Full of
I mean, yeah, but you.
he was
So
going for
what? Like he has to be black every time he
huh?
goes back. He has to be black.
Oh
Is
come
that what
on,
it is?
bro! Don't do this.
You see the psychological stuff they're playing, bro.
You know what? No, come on, man.
He has
Nah,
to be a black
I
man,
know
you know.
I know what you're trying to get, where you're trying to go, but I'm not rocking with it. I'm here to tell you now. But he's a good character, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Obviously, I don't. Yeah, I'm sure you all stuck around for the end credits and what that means going forward. Even an end credit scene that means something like, oh, six, so that goes into the next film. What could that possibly mean? Their man showing up, the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
No,
man.
I was really impressed by it. I don't really know what else to say. I think if you haven't seen it, you should definitely go see it. It's a good watch, and it's just nice to see uh, Marvel get it right. It's a better choice than Mission Impossible.
Really, is it not good?
I saw it this weekend. I'm
I
meant to
heard the
say,
last I heard the last hour and a half is unbelievable.
do you know what? I'm fascinated, man. I really am because I'm seeing mixed stuff. I don't want to talk too tough because you guys might still want to see it, but man, oh man, I had a real tough time with it.
I've seen I think I've seen them all, and I just feel like it's just not my series. And I'm okay with it, you know? Like I'm not like pressed. Like I rate his ability to actually do the stunts himself. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
some
yeah.
of them look really good on camera, and some of them are very, very elaborate. But I'm not rushing to watch this. And when I do watch it eventually, I'm probably not going to rave about it either. But yeah, I've seen mixed reviews. Some people saying it's the best ever, others saying that it's just a bit too long.
It's way too
Uh,
long. Coming in at 3 hours is criminal. The first 45 minutes, give me my money back. On God.
but
Um, and
yeah, I
then the
think
stunts are incredible, but they just go on for so long. It's almost to its detriment. It's like, all right, bro, I get it. Like, if you want to do this, just do it.
you don't have to make a movie about
Yeah. If you want to jump off a plane without a parachute, be my guest.
it. Fair enough. I mean, I wasn't going to pay money for it, but since you're saying it's not that great, then I'm just
Oh,
going to
definitely stream it.
waste this on
I would
obviously.
still say watch it because the stunts he is getting off is going to be, it'll probably go down as some of the best in cinema history. Um, there's one really good one involving an airplane, which is in the trailer. He's fighting for his life, figuratively and literally.
That man's always fighting for his life.
Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
There's a
I think
constant state.
I think I mean just I don't have much to say on Thunderbolts myself, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I like
Mm,
the fact that they took some like risks and they
yeah.
changed the whole, trope of defeat evil powered guy by physically beating him up. I think it was good that they
Mm,
they dived into like mental health aspect and dealing with your demons. I thought that was all pretty good. My
yeah.
only complaint really is that it kind of comes across a bit like for me at times, and maybe that's just me where I'm at watch with how much MCU stuff we've seen, kind of comes across a bit like I watched an episode of something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but like I don't know if I'd ever rush to watch it again because I just feel
Oh,
like
100%.
the
Yeah, yeah,
stakes
yeah.
were quite low. And again, not every single like show slash movie needs to be like, oh my God, the world's about to end. But I just felt like it was quite small in scale, which maybe isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. I
But I
think
just felt a
that
bit like, oh, okay, cool. They're now the new Avengers. I just felt like, okay, as opposed
it's
to it being like a
weirdly
wow moment.
It's weirdly to the film's detriment and to its credit, if that makes sense. The fact that
Yeah,
it is
yeah, yeah.
smaller means they were able to do more of the mental health stuff. But like you said, yeah, it does. I'm not rushing back to this. But there's a lot of films in the MCU like that where it's like, oh, that was good. Like I look back on Doctor Strange 1 like that now. I watched it recently again for the first time in a long time. I was like, okay, that's cool. Like it's neither bad nor good. It's
Yeah.
serviceable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put it in that category for sure. Um, but yeah, let's see what they serve up. I heard that, or I saw a trailer that Iron Heart is next, and it's got a really bad reaction from the incels online who have seen a
Yeah,
black
yeah, you knew
lady,
they set her up, man. I'm telling you. I'm
Yeah,
with him.
Say again, the
I'm with him. I'm
incels.
with him. I'm with
yeah,
him.
yeah. Well, not you know what I'm trying to say. Like the comic book truists are like really
I'm with
like
them. I'm
shitting
with
on
them.
it because they didn't
I
like
don't
her.
know why they keep doing this.
Well, I mean, I hear it because like it's a big part of the newer version of the MCU, what Marvel
Mm.
anyway, and obviously it's a newer Iron Man storyline. But I didn't know much about this, but I read a comment saying that when the initial Ironheart run came out, a lot of fans were really angry about it and they hated it. So obviously now to see that in real
Oh,
life
listen,
and already seeing how she was in Wakanda Forever, people are automatically saying, yeah, this is going to be terrible. And the fact that she's a black woman and you know what that's
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
that all goes. It's all just a
Uh,
recipe for disaster. But I'm gonna watch it and I'm hoping,
You gonna watch it?
yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, I like Iron Man and I didn't really love Riri Williams in Wakanda Forever, but I'm hoping they can flesh out her character and
I
give
quite
her a
liked her
proper
there.
story. I just
I
felt
thought
like she was a bit out of place for me.
she was, but I think that's what I liked about her because
Mm.
she was black and saw black people doing something. She was
That's the
like,
name of the episode. She
she
was
was
black.
black.
Nah, we can't call it that. We can't call it.
But that would be, I think, having a black lens and then seeing other black people do cool things that you didn't even think was possible. That's
Mm.
why she was so like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? What are you doing there? When they tried to pick her up from MIT at first, and she's like, what you man doing? You know, like I
Mm.
appreciated her character. I enjoyed her
Yeah.
personally, but I can see why he didn't gel with everyone. And I just feel they set up their characters and their actresses or actors for disaster with stuff like this. They were only going to react one way. And I know we have to kind of push through the noise, and most of it's online, but these people, even if they are a loud minority, they're still loud, you know, and it's the same thing with everything.
No, I hear you. And I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Like there is a sexist issue within comic books in general. Uh,
Mm,
Obviously, there have been good movies that have been female led, and there have been bad movies that have been female led.
yeah, yeah.
Regardless, there's always going to be that initial resistance. So I'm hoping
Mhm.
this bucks the trend because I mean I like the whole tech Iron Man stuff. And I'm surprised they haven't really delved back into that world. So
Mm.
I hope they land it.
All right, let's see. I was gonna say, oh, Lilo and Stitch, um, the sister gives her up in this live action remake. I couldn't
What?
believe it.
What?
In the Lilo and Stitch live action remake, the sister gives her up. That's what I'm hearing.
Really?
I,
I mean, I heard
I,
they made some big changes to the story.
yeah,
I can't remember the original one. I watched it so long ago, but I heard there's some major changes and people are,
yeah.
you know,
Disney,
um,
Disney, Disney. What are you man doing over there?
I might actually do a thing. I mean, I know it's probably like again an age thing, but I might actually just randomly watch all the old animations and watch the new remakes to see like the differences they've made. 'Cause
Oh my
I
goodness.
genuinely, I genuinely don't remember half. Obviously, we watched half of them when we were younger, right? But I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I really don't.
I'm trying
Only a
to.
handful. But all the remakes don't really have good receptions, really. They make loads of,
Nah, not really, man.
but
The only one that I enjoyed was Aladdin.
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that at some point.
It's good. Will Smith gives a good performance. This is pre-slap, so
Yeah, but
if I was Will Smith, I would have slapped him with a stick.
what about Snow White?
No, come on, bro. You know they just cooked that online. Do you know what the problem is? I really like the girl in it, Rachel's Zegler, I want to say her name is, but I've never seen someone cannibalize their own career more. Maybe Ye.
Um,
Homegirl was up on, and she said, um, "Who knows? The male lead might get cut. That's Hollywood, baby." I was, do you know what? I'm with you. That is Hollywood. I'll send you the full interview, but it's so
And
funny.
who's the
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot? She said free Palestine to Gal Gadot. That's crazy.
Huh?
damn.
Bro, it's crazy because she's from Israel, isn't it? She said free Palestine.
Mhm.
And Gal rocks for that shit.
Hey man, she
She
has to
was
hold that.
in. Wow.
She served.
That's
She
what I'm
served,
just
bro.
about to say. That was going to be my next point.
She's gonna have to hold that still.
Nah, that's bananas. Yo, that's made my day. I
That's
can't believe that happened. She is bad. I hope she has a career. I don't know if she'll survive Snow White, but I hope she has a career. If I make movies, she's in mine.
We'll
Um,
see it. We'll
we'll
see.
see.
yeah, man.
But this off
Randomly,
go on.
very, very quick one. Have you guys seen Andor? Or have you watched any of Andor?
No, I'm not watching. Star Wars is not getting my money.
It's really good, man. I
Is
mean,
this
I don't really
seasons one
rock
and
with.
two?
Yeah, there's only two seasons because obviously it leads into Rogue One,
Okay, so
but
it's
it's
pre
really good.
Rogue One.
Yeah, it's pre Rogue One, and it follows Cassian, who's like the co-lead.
Hmm.
It's really good, man. Like it's yeah, like obviously Star Wars has its issues, but they've really managed to make a great show in the midst of all this crap. So
Right.
if you do actually decide to venture into some Star Wars stuff, just
Maybe I might actually.
only watch Andor. Maybe if you watch The Mandalorian, then obviously you know what that's about. But
Yeah, yeah.
Andor's quality, man. Really, really good show.
Do you know what? We don't talk about it enough though. Rogue One is probably one of my best experiences watching a film in the cinema. I can't explain. There was an explosion that still sits with me today, and I'm just like, how did they do that? I thought it was a really good watch
It's a
because I
great
was,
film.
yeah, because I was concerned when I found out what the plot was. I was like, what? Why? Why would this even? be a story worth telling, but it was really good. It
No,
might be the best thing Disney Star Wars has done.
the show is just as good.
Okay.
Like comfortably. Like you'll know as soon as you start it, it's got that tone. It's not got that usual Star Wars tropes. It's very like relevant.
Mm.
Deals with a lot of like political shenanigans that happens today, a lot of genocide stuff. It's very like deep. It's pretty good.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
very impressed by it. If it
I
wasn't a
think.
Star Wars show, it would still have that level of like wow factor.
Mm.
Happens to be set in a Star Wars universe.
Honestly, it's a shame what happened to Star Wars. I don't. That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's Disney for
but
you.
that is perfect place to end, I guess. Now we'll be on the Joey Badass beef. He took on the whole of LA. Eman, can you explain this one? I tried, and then there was just too many songs. Um, I think for me, Joey won after the song titled "The Finals," and I was like, "Well, you guys can't come back from this."
I'm not going to go into every single song
No, of
because
course not.
there's way too many. There's way too many people. Plus, there's way too many songs.
How many songs do you think there
Um,
is in total?
Mate, this is a deluxe.
There's like 20 songs
This
minimum.
is what Drake said on the Heart Part Six. Now, obviously, terrible. He lost, but when he's like, "You just want to burn this shit out," I was like, "Now I get it."
No, he could have at least put no. He sounded defeated. Like, I'm
No,
not
no.
saying that it
What I'm
wasn't
saying is,
bad.
I'm comparing. I'm just saying when he said, "Oh, you're trying to make this shit burn out." This is what burnt out looks like. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
I'm taking the line from the song. Don't worry. We're
Nah,
all
he
on the same
could have come
page.
back further. But anyways, listen. What I'm gonna say is this: year there was no need. There was no need for Joey Badass to actually let me rephrase that. It wasn't necessary for Joey Badass to be basically saying, "Listen, I'm on what everyone is on. I'm on whatever." Yeah, like yeah, the West Coast is too much dick licking, this and that. Cool. He didn't need to say that. He did not need to say that. However, he's his own man. That's it. So it started with the rulers back, the track.
Mm.
At first I was like, it's a bit odd. Um, but then gradually I actually really enjoyed the song, and that song is on heavy rotation. But this is way before I'll get onto the timeline. So anyway, Ravon, he's a TDE artist. He remixed the Heart Part Six, Kendrick Lamar, and I think the track is called Cash Out Anthem or whatever. So he did that. It was a response to that. Then Daylight, a battle rapper from California, because I don't want to say LA and then next thing get it wrong. So he's from California, and he pretty much came out with a few tracks basically aiming at Joey Badass. Joey Badass came back with another track where he was basically saying, "Listen, what's beef? Beef is this and that." It was a conductor beat, another conductor beat. Um, Fast forward up until, if not last week, no, I think it was last week, because this is gonna come out tomorrow.
Mm.
Yes, it's gonna come out tomorrow. So last week, Red Bull dropped a freestyle featuring Joey Badass, Absol, and Big Sean. And before I
Boo!
even go any further, Big Sean did a phenomenal job. Absol did a phenomenal job. Joey Badass did a phenomenal job. All of them did phenomenal. They actually worked. Yeah. What's funny?
When you said Big Sean, I booed.
Leave him,
You know.
bro.
He went in.
He went
No, he did.
in.
I'm joking, but I said that's the first time I've been impressed with him in a long time.
Fairs, man. Fair enough.
Yeah. So they did that, and Joey Badass, of course, took this opportunity to basically speak some bars. And in speaking some bars, he mentioned, listen, If anybody's still with it, cool with it. I have no pass or no beef with the West Coast. It's all love. But if anybody's with it, they're with it. Then Rave One came out, started giving him bars. Then it was a 24-hour, no pre-recorded, which was absolutely a phenomenal. It was lovely. Then Daylight came out. Then Joey Badass came with, spoke to Daylight. Then Reason, who was on TDE, now he's on Dreamville. He came out, he spoke his stuff, and he gave a phenomenal track as well. And then everybody just started to jump in. AZ Chike came in. Joey Badass mentioned him. He says, last week was Rave One, this week is Arse Cheek. So
He
Yo,
slapped his
that's
head.
insane. What did
Yeah.
he say to Rayvon? You need an optician to see Ray Ban. What was it?
Ray-Bans,
To see Ray
yeah,
Bans. Oh my god.
yeah.
I'd
yeah.
quit rapping. I'd quit rapping. That'd be my 13th reason. I can't lie.
But it's very interesting because depending on the arena, and the reason why I say this, depending on the arena, only the person can win in their environment.
What does that mean?
So, uh, Joe Budden, I've forgotten the person that he faced. Uh, I think it's Hollow the Don. Yeah, I think. Listen. It was a very long time ago, but
Hmm.
they
I
did
remember
battle
this
rap,
actually. Yeah, I remember this.
and Joe Budden clearly lost. And Joe Budden, he's a phenomenal lyricist, but he lost because that's not his arena and that's not his realm.
Hmm.
Daylight, I would say he didn't lose like horribly, but I would say Daylight lost because this is not his arena to Joey
No, that
Badass.
makes
And the
sense.
thing is, Joey Badass when we say Joey Badass really took on a bunch of people and put on really put in work and really gave it his all. And he's still standing. Like he's still
Hmm.
doing his thing. And a lot of people can debate and say, oh yeah, well, he had the better bars. No, Joey Badass really stood tall and he came out on top. And that's great. But I think with Daylight, it's not his realm. And I think the 24-hour mark really put him in a bad place, in a bad spot. But the
How
fact that they
bad
were
was
just
Daylight
going back,
rapping?
huh?
How bad was he rapping bad or?
He was just
No,
rapping,
he
man. He
he
was
was
doing
rapping.
too much, bruv. He was doing
Hmm.
too much.
Could
Eman's,
you?
Eman's, Eman's trying to dress it up because he messaged me when the song dropped and I was listening to it and I was just like, I hear what he's trying to say, but when it comes to like rap beef, you gotta condense it, man. He was just
Hmm.
saying too much, and there's nothing wrong with that because obviously he's a battle rapper. What he's saying is like super duper layered and
Hmm.
triple entendres, but it was just like, and to make it worse, the beats and like the arrangements of the songs, it's just like, nah, man, like
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
this is the reason why you're a battle rapper. You're not like a songwriter. Like you can't like if when you do get a chance, then we listen to Joey's last diss. I forgot what it's called. Um, but it's phenomenal because he samples Hit 'em Up and
Okay.
like it's got a chorus, like he's slapping all their heads, like he's just doing everything that needs to be done. And that's how you're supposed to battle somebody. But
Hmm.
that thing was just too much. It was giving me like Eminem
Oh no,
in the
no.
90s
You know
vibes where
how
you're
I've been.
talking about
As
like,
soon as you said that,
like horrorcore type of vibe. I was like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
nah, man, like I don't need to hear none of that. Like
Nah, that's my least favorite type of battle rap.
I
Nah, thank you for letting me know. Eman, tell me the song with the hit 'em up sample though. I do want to hear that.
forgot what is it called? Do you know what it's called, man? I forgot.
No, there's so many tracks. There's so many
That
tracks.
track is the best. That and the finals are the best tracks. Reason has a good track in the middle of it somewhere.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yeah.
and Ray Vaughn's second diss, I think I liked more than the whole era diss. Like the whole era diss was okay. Like I get
He's
what he was
too West
trying to
Coast to
do.
me.
Sorry?
I said he's too West Coast for me.
Which is fair. But I think his second disc was better, and he did definitely get off some interesting points about Joey's affiliation with Diddy. But I just feel like Joey's last disc was just like, yeah, he got his stuff off.
Do we see this elevating Joey Badass in any way? I mean, but, like, people's opinion of him will be higher, but like, do we think it could propel him
Um,
to a premier artist?
Said something about him, saw a thing about him putting out an album soon, and that'll be a good
Okay.
thing to do to capitalize on this because I feel like we've spoken about Joey Badass on here for years. Like he's such a sick rapper, and he
Yeah,
has a
100%.
couple like really good albums. 1999 could be a classic if you ask a certain crowd of people, but I just feel like he didn't propel himself to where he should have been. Um,
Mm.
if he can do that now, like he's still a young man, he's still the same like he's the same age as us. I still think there's time to kind of to do that. And he
I agree.
shows he can rap. Like the beef proves that. So I'd love him to put an album
Yeah.
out ASAP. That'd be great.
We need a damn album.
yeah, we definitely need a Joey Badass, a new album. Um,
Mm.
because I've mentioned it, like the 2000 album. I had it. I've always had it on my phone. The only thing is that it when I got it, it wasn't in order, so I've never really listened to it. And um, but I've listened to one or two tracks. But then when I go back and I listen to it, it's like, nah, he's phenomenal in what he does, and now he's put himself in the spotlight. Is great. Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, I have to be very honest in terms of the whole battle rap thing. Um, if he said mention my name, I'll be there. Like so,
He
and
ain't
I know
stepping
he's
up.
on tour, he's doing his thing, but you know, I
I think
think
they'll
it's
stay out.
time.
Do you think
I
he'll
think he
step
should.
out?
He should, man.
He should,
I think he definitely should.
but then again, I don't think.
That would be blockbuster. I'll tell you that for free. Now that I'd
But
want to see.
the thing is, there is no issues between. There is no true issue between. I want to say there's no true. It seems like there's no true issue between Joey and Kendrick because he says, "Listen, if you want to get it, it's cool, innit? We can keep it rap, and that's it. We're gonna keep it rap." And even Ray Von, like in a recent like small interview, he pretty much said like, "No, it's all rap. It's just
Yeah,
rap,
yeah, yeah. And that was beautiful to
and that's
see.
it."
It didn't really get to an uncomfortable position where you feel like the Drake and Kendrick one kind of got to this pretty much for the most part stayed rap.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I don't know
It was
though.
refreshing.
I feel like Joey's had a chip on his shoulder about Kendrick for a minute because he did respond after the Control verse. He put out Killuminati Part 2, which is basically a Kendrick diss. This was years ago, obviously.
Mm.
This is amazing. That's one of my favorite Joey songs, but Kendrick never responded. So I feel like since Kendrick mentioned that he's a king of the East Coast, Joey's always felt a way about that, but he's just never managed to get a response out of Kendrick. But I think Joey's proved during this beef that he can actually rap and he can
Yeah,
beat. But I think Kendrick doesn't really have an excuse, in my opinion. If he doesn't do it, no one's going to care because obviously he's number one
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's held in high regard. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he should.
I would
Um,
want him to, but I don't think he will. It's just it could be a bit of a banana skin for him. Like I could see him losing that if he just packed up the whole of the West Coast, and a lot of them are as talented as they are. I don't know, man. Sometimes you just don't want problems with people.
what I will
but
say is I feel
then,
like Joey's been waiting. Joey's the one thing that I would say that gives Joey the edge is I feel like he's just been waiting for this.
Yeah, he's
Whereas
been really 100%.
whereas Drake wasn't waiting for Kendrick. Drake was just like, I'm bigger than you. But Kendrick was waiting for Drake this whole time. And I think it's the
There you go.
opposite here, where like Joey is just saying, say my name.
Yeah, 100%.
Say my name. So I
Don't
would love
even
to
say
see it.
Joey. If he said Joe, we're talking about Joe
but
Biden.
but my thing
So
is this here on the 2000 album. by Joey Badass. He says the Trinity is Cole, Joey, and Kendrick. He says those are big. That's big three.
You said this?
Joey Badass on his album
Oh,
2000s.
right. Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
remember
he
this.
mentions it. So,
He's got to be trolling.
no,
Huh?
because I don't think people. Well,
He's not even in the big 20.
clearly now he's upped his ranks. So, um, we'll see in it. We'll see, bro. We'll see. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's actually a good topic to sit down and try to organize the top 20 rappers active right now. You don't have to do it today,
That'd be really
but
hard because there's so many shit rappers that are active right now. All the good ones are kind of hiding. So I'd struggle. But we could do it. We could give it a try.
no, okay, I mean, maybe not active. And I don't want to say of all time, it's tough. Do you say from the 2010s onwards or even 2000s that we actually got to see?
Yeah, we could give it a
Could,
try. Why not?
yeah, why not? Next time,
For sure.
for sure. All right, main Chafford podcast. Lads, if you've got any song choices,
I'm gonna pick the Joey Badass this. I'll put it in the chat. It's called Crash Dummy.
okay.
He's really good. Good listen. He's getting some bars off. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll keep it in the spirit of Jay Badass. I'm gonna go for the finals.
Yeah, he went in on that as well.
I'm gonna go for a completely different song, mate. What was I looking for? West Side Gun dropped 2 projects and I totally missed it.
Them lot are not real. How do they put out so much music?
It's mostly him.
And how do you consume so much of it?
I didn't even know until now he put something out. I've lost track.
So the 2 projects that he put out that I didn't even notice was one which was Still Praying, which is the continuation of Pray for Paris, Pray for Me, and Still Praying. And the other project was 12.
Okay.
Still Praying is
Is he,
good.
Yeah,
Still Praying
is he
is
the
really
one that made HWH?
yes. That's the continuation, and this is 12.
That's how many of HWH did he make?
12, bro. This is 12.
Nah, he's insane.
I
Because
didn't even know about Still.
when my man was just saying stuff like, DEFCON 3, and he was about to say, he just said 10, and everybody knew what 10 meant. So there is 11, and then
He
there
just
is,
said
yeah, he just said 10 because, mate, you don't want to be infused in that conversation.
HWH is crazy. That's the name of the episode, by the way. 100% HWH. If you
he
know, you
just
know.
said 10 and everyone got what he meant. That's when you know.
So on Still
That's not
Praying,
that day,
I
thank you.
choose. I'll choose Still Praying by Still Praying.
Yeah, that
Okay.
song's hard. I listened to the DJ Drama version, and I listened to the one without him, and I was like, you know what? I need the one without him because he just keeps
Really?
running it back.
I like DJ. We think about yeah, DJ Drama. I like him and stuff.
I
I'm not
like
gonna
him,
lie.
but on this, he keeps repeating the track. I'm like, bro,
Oh,
like
I see. Okay, fair
this is
enough.
taking too long, and the tracks are actually good. So I'm listening to the non-drama version. Sorry.
All right, say less. Um, yeah, that's it. Well done, guys. Appreciate it.
Nice
Love.
one.
Until next time. Peace.
Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Nice one.